Better. All right. Hi guys. Can you see me? Can you hear me? I have my mic here. Okay. So for those that are just joining, if you're just joining right now, just swipe forward or move forward, okay? So if you're just joining, just slide to catch up, okay? So I'm just going to begin ahead of time, all right? So, welcome, guys. We have a lot to talk about. So, tomorrow is a big day, although today is a big day actually, because we are today Mars entered Cancer at 0 degrees. Hi, Pame, how are you? So, Mars entered Cancer at 0 degrees, and 0 degrees in astrology means the purest concentrated point. Okay, it's the blank slate. All right, before you write anything, think a blank notebook. Okay, a brand new notebook where you can write your own story. That is what 0 degrees mean. And before this eclipse that is happening tomorrow about to happen, okay, before it happens, okay, some events already took place, right? On August 3rd, Chiron went retrograde in Taurus, okay? And then on August 7th, Venus entered Libra at 0 degrees. So when a planet enters a sign at 0 degrees, it is marking something called what will I call it? A new chapter. Okay. So whenever a planet enters a sign at 0 degrees, it is marking a new chapter. So Venus in Libra is marking a new Libran chapter. And then on August 9th, Mercury entered Leo, marking a new chapter. Okay. And then August 11th, Mars, the planet of action, drive, aggression, impulse, okay, enter the sign of Cancer. Video that I will have to do because it represents a whole lot. It represents a whole lot. So, with that said, all these planets moved into formation. All right. They set themselves into strategic positions for what is about to happen on August 12th, 2026. All right. And it's not just the total solar eclipse that is happening on August 12th. Okay. It's not just that alone, it is also the alignment of 6 planets. Okay, we have Mercury, Mars, Venus, Uranus, Neptune, Jupiter, all aligning. Okay, tomorrow as well, and then tomorrow also marks the peak of the Perseid meteor shower. So tomorrow is a heavy day. It's a heavy day, right? So everything for you what tomorrow is all about, August 12th, 2026. All right. So if you have your pen and your notebook, please bring it out because today is going to be really packed. All right. So what we're going to do is we're first of all going to check out the tarot and the numerological aspect of the date, August 12th, 2026. Okay. And then after that, we're going to check, what this means for each zodiac sign. All right. What is the message? Okay, for each zodiac sign based on your modality, whether you're fixed, cardinal, mutable. Okay. Then after that, we're going to break down this South Node in Leo, what it means, and then your 6 month forecast. All right. So it's going to be really, really packed. All right. So let's dive into it. So, like I said, tomorrow have my here because it's a whole lot and I can't put it in my head. All right. So we have the eclipse happening August 12th, 2026, which is a new moon total. In any eclipse you hear about is actually any solar eclipse you hear about is actually a new moon. Okay, so it's just a new moon with a higher perspective or a higher whatever, So new moons naturally mark a new chapter. Whenever you hear new moon, just know it means something new, a new lunar cycle. All right. And usually, lunar cycles usually last like maybe 30 days, okay, like a lunar cycle, right? So, but this is an eclipse that could last, the energy could last 6 months. Okay, this is serious. This is the second eclipse of the year. Okay, so it's very, very important. Um, this total solar eclipse is happening at 20 degrees of Leo. Okay, and eclipses like this bring significant turning points and opportunities for rebirth. Okay, the rebirth of, oh my god, sorry about that. That was embarrassing. Oh my god. Oh my God. So the rebirth of yourself and the reinvention of yourself. Okay. So if you feel that fatigue, if you feel slow, if you feel something about you is dying, and it could be an identity, it could be something you used to do that no longer aligns with your energetic frequency. Okay. So then this new moon is also a more potent lunation that's affecting your life for the coming 6 months. Aside from that, like I said, the six planets are also aligning: Jupiter, Mercury, Mars. Seriously? Oh my God. This is embarrassing. Anyway, talk about this is so, oh my God. And I'm live. This never happens, actually. This never happens. But hey, I'm just going to adapt. Talk about rebirth. Just y'all, just give me a moment. Can you guys see me though? Can you see me? If you guys can see me, let me know. And imagine this video is going to be there for everybody to see, including my foreign friends. Okay. Okay, I'm sure they're going to bring it back anyway. So let's keep on moving. Anyway, so like I said, we have those six planets aligning. Okay, that too could also affect on us. Okay, so let's move in now. This south node in Leo, like I said, is a cosmic release for you. Think of it like an exit door that you walk through, and when you walk through that door you become a brand new person. But that brand new person that you become, the process can take 6 months. All right. So you have to give yourself grace. It depends on how fast you adapt to the changes. Okay. Some would adapt more than others, but it's not something you just wake up and you're a brand new person. That's not how changes work, right? So think of this new moon marking the start of your rebirth. Okay. So, and South Node represents your comfort zone. Okay, it represents where you've already been, what you have already mastered, not just in this life, but also in a past life. Okay, and then it also represents what you now need to leave behind, grow or evolve into the next part of your higher self. Okay, so this is a South Node solar eclipse that emphasizes endings and release. And depending on where you have Leo in your chart, or even Aquarius in your chart, that is a very specific place where your rebirth is actually happening. So if you know where Leo is in your chart, put it in the comments. Okay, so and then this now South Node eclipse is going to bring patterns. Okay, patterns you're used to. All right. For example, maybe it's a situation where instead of putting yourself first, every time you want to put yourself first, something in your family comes up. Okay, and then you have to always neglect your own needs in order to attend to family. That is a pattern that needs to go, because it does not align with you, because every time you have to put your family first, then how would you grow to where you need to go? Those are old patterns, you understand? But then at the same time, these patterns can become something that you are you are used to, because you don't want to face the hard work that is involved in, you know, the hard work that is involved in becoming your higher self. So you're using that excuse of, putting family first because you don't want to face yourself. So South Node represents those comfort zones. It represents those areas where we are lying to ourselves. It represents those areas where we've been inauthentic, okay, to the point of exhaustion. All right. So when you're feeling fatigue, it is actually your higher self or your soul that is tired of the way you used to do things and is actually begging you to change. Okay. Then this South Node eclipse is going to reveal what has your life. So if something suddenly stops or something suddenly doesn't work out the way you used to, this is a sign that it's time for you to let go. Your Libra sun rising, moon, Scorpio rising with Leo in Saturn. Wow. So, okay, that means your career. Well, don't worry, I'm still going to get to that, but your career is going to be where this eclipse is going to like really target. Okay. So, like I said, the eclipse is also going to like reveal what has reached its limit in your life. You're going to suddenly feel this irritation, okay, either with people or with the way you used to live. You just feel irritated, angry, upset, and be like, why am I like this? Why is this like this? Why is this person like this? You're going to feel that anger and irritation. It's a sign that that is what it needs to go. Okay, then the South Node eclipse also points out what no longer can be sustained. Okay, wake up, like I said, you used to always be there for your family. You suddenly feel that irritation. I'm not saying you shouldn't be there for your family. I'm using this as an example. All right. So let's say it's a habit of yours that makes you avoid the inner work you need to do or the hard work you need to do. You suddenly get that irritation. Like you just be like, okay, I'm done doing this. I don't want to be. Why is it me that they're always calling? Why can't they call somebody else? Do you understand? So these are the things that this eclipse is going to point out in your life. Okay. And this is not a moment for you to force yourself or to push forward. Okay. This is a moment of judgment, reckoning. Okay. These and all these planets going retrograde. It's not a coincidence. Okay. They are all auditing your life. Excuse me. It's all a audit of your life. Okay. Whenever you hear planets going retrograde, it means that they are going back in time, okay, have done since they've entered into a particular sign. So if you've not done any changes, they're going to literally put more emphasis on things and you will feel the effect of it. So this rebirth, this whole retrograde thing was a preparation for the rebirth that was about to happen in your life. That was why Mercury retrograde in Cancer was so intense. Okay, your mind clutter, your old ways of thinking, the information or the things that people have told you that does not belong to you or belong to your identity, it had to be cleared out. Okay, that was what Mercury retrograde in Cancer was doing. It had to be cleared out. So, and then Saturn going retrograde, Neptune going retrograde, Chiron going retrograde, just 9 days before this eclipse is about to happen. Everything is strategic. Every single thing is strategic. So universe is like clearing your cache. When an app is too full and it starts to malfunction or it starts to make your phone to malfunction, and then you go into the app to clear some cache so that you can have some breathing room. Yeah, that's what's happening to you right now. Okay, so old, and then in Leo represents ego, anything that has to do with your ego but is not authentic. Do you understand me? So we're talking old ego patterns, we're talking old performance marks, we're talking old ways of seeking approval. All these things, depending on where it is in your house, they're going to be eliminated. Okay. So let's also, you're being asked to put your ego aside in order to fully recognize and appreciate the impact that you have on other people as well as on yourself. Okay. So you're going to be inspired to play and participate in life as a main character. All right. But if you don't know who you are, a main character. Do you understand? So if you don't know who you are, you're wearing a mask that was handed to you. You cannot be a main character in your life. You'll just be an extra in the background because you're not in the right identity. So now let's break down the date of tomorrow, August 12th, 2026. Okay. So when you calculate 12, you have 12, and then 12 plus 8, that's 20, right? Then 20 plus 1, okay, because 2026, 2 plus 2, 4, 4 plus 6, okay, that's 10. 10 reduces to 1. So 12 plus 8, 20, 20 plus 1, 21. So the life path of tomorrow's date is a 21 3. So we have the numbers 12, we have the numbers 21, and then we have the number frequency of tomorrow. And that is the frequency that is ruling the next 6 months. So let's break that down. So 12 in tarot represents the hanged man. I have tarot here, but they don't have the exact picture I'm looking for. It represents the hanged man or the sacrifice. And what does this mean? It means that, and also in numerology, it also represents completion as well. Okay, imagine 12. 12 represents the 12 disciples. It represents the 12 calendar year, the 12 zodiac signs, the 12-hour clocks. Okay, it represents completion. All right, 12 that comes together to complete a cycle. Okay, so that frequency is ruling tomorrow. All right, so you're being asked to gain divine perspective. That is what 12 is. Seeing things from a new perspective, or seeing things from a new, all right, but you can't see things from a new light if you're always on the go, go, go. That's why you're being forced to rest. That's why you're being forced to slow down. Okay, so 12 represents gaining divine perspective. Okay, and then numerology wise, it also asks you to surrender to the unknown. So if you're experiencing that fatigue, you're experiencing this identity crisis, confusion, you're being asked to surrender. Okay. And August 12th itself is carrying that frequency. So the message is that you cannot receive the new while you're still holding on to the old. Okay. So whatever it is that you need to let go, you need to let go of it now so that you can receive the new aspect of things, or the new reality that you're meant to enter. Okay. So, and then let's move to 21. 21 represents the world in tarot, and in numerology, it represents completion. All right. So, 21 means it represents full circle moment. And you can see that it's a flip between 12, 1 and 2. Okay. So, we have 12, and then we have it flipped 21. Okay. If you check every date in August, if you calculate every date in August, it will still bring back the same number. Okay. So like August 11 today, 11 plus 8, 19, plus plus 1, 20. Okay, so that's 22. But if you decide to calculate everything together, like 11 plus 8, 20, sorry, 19, plus 2, 21, plus another 2, 23, plus 6, that's 29. 2 plus 9 is still what? 11. Go back to any date in August, calculate it, it will still bring back itself. So August is a special month. That's literally mind blowing. So today is an 11/11 day actually. So tomorrow, which is August, same vibration, right? So we have 12, we have 21, but at the end of the day, it reduces to 3. Okay, so 1, 2, 12, and it still gives you 3 at the end of the day. So 21 represents full circle moments, it represents completion, it represents cosmic graduation. Okay, and then it reduces to 3. So we are at the last breath of a completed chapter, and that is why everything is feeling so intense. Even on threads, people are like, what is in this retrograde? Are they on crack? Because we are feeling this on a serious energetic level, right? Identity, relationship, exactly, like you're feeling this on a whole. You know that something is wrong. Even I was on Twitter just a couple of minutes ago, and I can see how everything has changed, where people are like really, really, their mind is open. Like, even there was a whole thread of people. Exactly, you're being slowed down so that you can gain new perspective. Especially today, 11:11, the awakening is going to be crazy. Your dreams are going to be vivid. Okay, if you've been having crazy dreams lately, like you don't even understand what is going on, yeah, that's the 11:11 energy. Okay, so then the final number, which is three represents your throat chakra, represents your voice, how you express yourself, how you communicate. That is what three represents. Okay, so it is a number of creation. It represents the empress, but in numerology represents the trinity. Okay, excuse me. So it's a number of creation, sorry about that. Expression, fertility. And when I'm saying fertility, I'm not just talking about children. Exactly. Of course, I did severe research so that time, okay? So fertility doesn't just represent children. Fertility also represents being able to birth something like a project, a brand new identity, a business, an idea, a creativity project, a music, a song. As long as it comes from you, it you get birth to it. Okay, it's your baby. All right, it's your child. It doesn't necessarily have to be a human being. All right. So three also represents communication and the sacred trinity. So in tarot, the three represents the empress, and it represents abundance, creativity, embodiment. Okay, represents giving life to something. All right. And this tells us that the entire alignment event is ultimately about creative rebirth, the rebirth of yourself. You're giving birth to yourself. Okay. But for you to give birth to yourself, something has to go. All right. Your intuition has been telling you, you need to stop this, but you're still fighting against it. So that thing is a clue to what you need to let go of. All right. Then, if we add everything together, 12 is that sacrifice, the pain of releasing something, which leads to the completion of a cycle in your life. Okay. And then it helps you to birth something entirely new. All right. So that is what this whole date is all about. That's what this whole frequency is all about. So at the end of the day, what is this entire message all about? It means that the universe is era in your life. And it's not just on a personal scale, this is on a global scale as well. You will notice that people are no longer tuning into celebrity culture. People are no longer idolizing, celebrities. Okay, that era is coming to an end. All right. So people that are performing, that are not literally their era is going to come to an end. Okay, people are going to be, because people are working on their nervous system is awakened right now. People's nervous system is wired right now. Okay, so if anybody is faking for you, you're gonna see through their fakery. All right, we were living the age of Pisces where the fog was in our eyes, and we could not see what is literally happening. Now celebrities cannot do what they used to do to, you know bamboozle us. Do you understand? So now we're seeing things, we're now being critical, we're now like, okay, this person, what did this person take us for? Do you understand? So on a global scale, this is happening. And then Leo too also represents the head of states, the presidents, people that have been put in positions of power. Okay, and South Node in Leo brings endings to anything that has to do with performance, anything that has to do with fakery, position of power, but they misuse that power or that position. They're literally, their time, their era is coming to an end. Okay, so back to what I was saying, the universe is ending a performance era and beginning a community era. Okay, because we have the south node in Leo, and then we have the north node in Aquarius. South node represents your comfort zone, north node represents your future self, what you are meant to be, and it's in Aquarius. And Aquarius is a community type of sign. Okay, is this is the sign of the this is a sign of community. Okay, this time around, we're not pouring ourselves into celebrities or other people. No, we are pouring into ourselves now. Everybody now has something to bring in. Okay, you are special. I am special. The way you're here watching my life, I know there is something too that you're so special at doing, or that you're unique at. Okay, and when this birth to that, okay, and then that thing that you give birth to is going to help select people. Okay, it could be hundreds of people, it could be thousands of people. Okay, we're entering an age where everybody is going to be very innovative. That is the sign of Aquarius: innovation, doing things differently. Okay, we're going to enter an era where setting up camera and looking so polished, people are not going to want to watch your video. Okay, people are going to prefer videos where people are just themselves, okay, lying on the bed, not even looking so polished and all of that. Like, natural content, people are going to prioritize that more, instead of polished content where you set up all your 20 cameras and all of that. We're going to get to that era. Do you understand? So Leo people are performance by nature. Okay, they do things for the attention. Or I'm a Leo rising, so I'm not shading anybody. They do things for their attention. Okay, but Leo also represents the king. It represents the one that seeks the spotlight. So Aquarius, where the not node points, is the collective, the rebel, the one that doesn't want to do things the way they are doing it before. Okay, that is why there is so much awakening around religion now, and people are starting to critically think for themselves. Like, really, what, like, oh my god, I've been bamboozled for so long. Why is this happening? Why is that happening? So the rebel in us is coming out. Okay, the one that is like, I'm done doing this. Okay, maybe in your family they are like, we don't do this. Why? They never gave you an explanation. They were just like, we just don't do this. And then now something in you is arising. Okay, the eldest daughter or the eldest son that has carried so much baggage for so long, they decide to rebel and be like, I'm done. Why am I the one carrying all the carrying all the family drama? Do you understand? They're gonna rebel. We are in a whatever. Oh my god. Okay, finally we're back on track. Anyway, so we're getting to that point where we're rebelling against what is the social norm. Okay, so the way things used to be, the way society was set, you have to do this way, you have to do this that way. We are slowly coming out of that. Okay, nobody wants to do things the way they're doing it anymore. Even in my private group, where I was like asking, I set up a poll and I was like, okay, are you guys crying or not? I could see some men actually voting that they were crying. Exactly, exactly. So I felt actually proud of that, because naturally men don't want to agree that they are crying. Okay, they don't want weakness, and I felt really proud of those men who eventually voted that they were actually crying. So we're getting to that point. Like, patriarchy is falling. Okay, this is a whole subject for another time. Okay, so if you're interested, like, just stay tuned to updates. I'm going to break this whole thing down, especially what Pluto is doing in Aquarius. Let's not forget, Pluto is retrograde in Aquarius. Okay, and then we have the North Node in Aquarius, and Pluto is staying retrograde in Aquarius until October, but is staying in Aquarius until 2044, for the next what, 20 years or 18 years. So over the next 18 years, patriarchy is falling. Okay? Patriarchal related structures are falling. Okay, religion is centered around patriarchy. Capitalism, all right, where the rich will milk the poor, okay, out of their resources, it's falling. 9 to 5 will fall, because Aquarius is the sign of is ruled by Uranus. Uranus is the internet. Uranus is electricity, innovation. Okay, so 9 to 5 is gonna fall. Everybody's gonna have their jobs online. Everybody's gonna be doing things online. Do you understand me? So this is what is happening, okay? The rebel, the humanitarian, the eclipse is saying stop performing for approval and start living for your purpose. Okay, so that is what this entire frequency is going to be for the next what? For the next 6 months. Okay, that's till February, I think. Yeah, February 2027. Okay, so just in summary for that, for tomorrow's day is telling you to pause, to surrender, to see things differently, and not force anything. Exactly. Men are also awakening to patriarchy. Exactly. Many people are quitting and resigning jobs by the drove. Okay. Many people are deconstructing or denouncing Christianity. Many people don't want to align with patriarchy. They're now seeing they're seeing how patriarchy has really, really eaten deep into society. So I love that. I love that. Then 21 represents the world and is telling you that you're completing a soul chapter at this point and you should honor that. However, it happens to you in your body, know that you are completing a soul cycle. Honor that. Give yourself some grace. Okay. Then the three represents the Empress. Okay. So after release, after you've purged all of that performance energy, the flow will come. That rebirth is also going to come, and you need to trust that. Okay. So now we're done with the dates. Now let's come to how this affects each zodiac sign. Yeah. So we're going to start with fixed signs because these are the people that will feel this eclipse the most. Okay. Excuse me. So you need to, at this point, maybe you know your rising, your sun, your moon. Even if you don't know your rising, maybe you're not a Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, Taurus, okay? Even if you're not, check where it is in your chart because that is where you will see some changes. All right, so let's dive into it. So, fixed signs, you are the holders of the zodiac, okay, and you are the stubborn ones as well. So you're built for endurance, loyalty, depth, and also sustaining energy. All right, power is your staying power. All right, but it can also be your weakness, your kryptonite. So you are, because you are fixed, you are stubborn. You're fixed, you're not moving. All right, and that means that that identity you're needing to let go of, you won't want to let go of it easily. You're so attached, gripping it so tight. And that is why you're going to feel this eclipse or this rebirth or this whatever the most. Okay. You dig in when you're supposed to like release. So this South Node total eclipse at 20 degrees is essentially like something like a tool that is aimed into what you are gripping into. So let's say you have your sun, moon, and Cancer, sun and moon in Cancer, then Aquarius rising. Interesting. Okay. So let's say you have your hands like this. You have something. This is my comb. So don't judge me. You have something digging in, try to pry your hands open. Okay. So that is what's gonna feel like for you on an energetic level. So you better you open your hands that or else they're gonna keep trying to pry it open. Okay. So, and them or the universe putting something into your closed hands because you're a fixed sign, you are a stubborn sign, and trying to pry things open is going to be painful for you. It's going to be painful for you. Okay, so whatever it is that happens, don't think that the universe hates you or the universe is cruel to you. Also ask yourself, where am I holding things too tight? Is it a certain identity? Is it the ways people I want people to see me? Is it my performance energy? Is it me seeking the spotlight? Where am I holding too tight? And where are they forcing me to open up? So think of it like a doctor resetting a bone. It's painful, but it's necessary. Do you understand? So it has to hurt for you to heal correctly. All right. So this planet alignment will also amplify this because several of those planets, especially Saturn, which represents structure, all the structures in your life, and then Uranus, which represents disruption of things. Okay, they are in direct conversation with fixed energy. So if you're a Leo, you're a Taurus, you're a Scorpio, you're a an Aquarius, okay, you're gonna feel this the most. You're gonna Uranus and Saturn is in direct conversation with your signs, so you're gonna be experiencing the disruption of structures in your life, structures that you have set up. You know, structures are like buildings. Okay, it's not easy building, but if a building needs to be collapsed, it's serious. It's a serious thing. All right, so and you are somebody in the building, you're holding the building, you're hugging the building, you're like, I don't want to go, I don't want to move out, and they're like, if you don't move out, we're going to bring this wrecking ball and take, and you're going to go with this building. Do you understand? So Saturn represents those structures, and Uranus is the wrecking ball that is coming to slam through that building and break anything that does not align in your life. Okay, so this means that as a fixed sign, you're not just, your own is not just a nudge, you're not nudging you, they're pushing you out of the house. Okay, they're pushing you out of all the things that you set up, that you think, oh, this is your identity, and they're like, nope, this is not where you're meant to stay, you're meant to move elsewhere. Okay, so as a fixed sign, you're being asked to stop forcing outcomes. Okay, so if you're a Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, in outcomes. If you're rising, ooh, Scorpio and Uranus, so ooh, I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to do that, but how are you? Are you okay? Damn, that's intense. Okay, that's intense. Anyway, um, just pay attention to what the advice I have for you. Um, damn, that took me back. Anyway, like I said, fixed signs, you're being asked to stop forcing outcomes, okay? So, and then a major life chapter is completing for you specifically. Right? Like, that was crazy. Scorpio in the 12th house alone is intense. You're probably psychic. I bet you're psychic. I bet you're into the occultic, into the taboo, or something like that, or even into in SCX stuff, okay? And then Uranus disruption, girl. Okay, so that's crazy. Anyway, if you're a fixed sign, or check wherever you have, I'm so sorry, my love. Check where you have all these things in your chart, okay? Whether you have Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, check where you have them in your chart, because in these places you're being asked to stop forcing outcomes. You're also being told that you're completing a major life chapter in those areas, because fixed signs have been holding these chapters for the longest. Okay, and then the three represents the creative rebirth waiting on the other side of you doing this work. Just release. Yeah, okay, just release that grip. All right, release that grip and you'll be fine. So Leo, this is for you. Okay, you're the sovereign that is releasing your crown. What you're being asked to let go of is your crown. Okay, because your sign at 20 degrees, you're at ground zero of this change, this massive change. Okay, so signs and symptoms you could be experiencing right now. If you're a Leo, let me know in the comments. Okay, you see, I love my job. I really love my job. Anyway, so if you're a Leo and you're experiencing any of these things, let me know in the comments. Okay. Excuse me. So you could be experiencing exhaustion from performing. All right, you may feel deeply tired, not physically necessary, but on a soul level. All right, I can relate because I've been sleeping like mad. I've been crazy tired lately. So you're tired of showing up the way you always have, like you've been on stage for years and suddenly the costume feels heavy. Do you understand? So exhaustion. Number two, identity confusion. You may be asking yourself, watching, or am I doing this for me or for the applause? Right? I like that you can relate. These questions will feel unsettling, but they are gold. okay, where you are asking yourself these questions like, am I, who am I? What do I really want? Pay attention to that. That's where you need to change, okay? That's where you need to let go of your grip, okay? So then you could be experiencing dramatic endings or departures in your life, okay? This could be in the form of relationships, friendships. You could lose your job, okay? um Creative projects or even friend groups, okay, they could be exiting your life, and it could happen on a sudden level. Remember, Uranus, okay, disruption. Whatever will happen in your life is going to happen suddenly by surprise. Just chillax, know that you're being guided to a better place. Do you understand? Those who fed your ego rather than your soul are the ones that are living your life. If it is a relationship that you suddenly broke up, it's because it was feeding your ego. It wasn't helping you to get to where you need to go. If it was a job, it wasn't helping you to get to where you need to go. So then you could be experiencing a deep longing to be truly seen. Like you want to be seen for who you really are, not celebrated, not applauded, but genuinely known and accepted for who you really are. Okay, this is your soul craving authentic connection over performance. And if you're experiencing heart area physical symptoms, like your heart is palpitating, beating fast, okay, know that Leo rules the heart and the spine. Okay, that's your house of career and reputation. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, Scorpio, yeah, so pay attention to all these things. So this is for Leo actually. So Leo rules the heart and the spine as well. So wherever you have it in your chart, that's where you also be experiencing these things. So you may notice chest tightness as a Leo rising, sun, moon, or whatever, Venus, whatever, not node, whatever. So you may notice chest tightness, upper back tension, heart palpitations. If you're experiencing heart palpitations, go and get checked. Or a literal feeling of your heart aching to open more fully. All right. Then you could also be experiencing creative blocks. All right, which is ironic because you are the most creative sign. So you shouldn't be experiencing creative blocks. But right now, they need you to focus on what you need to do. So they're going to block your creativity so that you can chillax and actually pay attention to what you need to change. So right now, your muse may feel silent. This is intentional so that you can let go of that old identity. So what this eclipse is telling you, Leo, to do, or wherever you have Leo in your chart, okay, so you could have it in your fourth house, eighth house, ninth house. So wherever you are listening right now, don't just say, "Oh, I'm gonna wait for my sign." No, go and check where you have Leo in your chart because that's where your message is. All right. So what you need to let go of, like for instance, I think somebody has it in their 10th house or reputation. Let go of the need to be the main character in every room. Okay, seventh, that's the house of partnerships. So let go of needing to be the main character in your partnership, or and partnership could be relationships, it could be business, it could be anything that you collaborate with somebody else. Okay, it doesn't necessarily have to be a love thing. So let go of the need to be the main character. It doesn't mean that you should dim your light. It just means that you're learning that your light does not literally require an audience for it to be real. Okay, you don't need an audience for you to know that you're authentic or you're worth it. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Hear me? Hello, can anybody hear me? Okay, beautiful. All right. So, okay, beautiful. So also you're being asked to let go of your pride as armor. Okay, so if you don't know where your chart is, I will later let you know how to navigate your chart. Don't worry, I'm going to tell you how to do that, okay, later on. So just write down these tips, okay, just write it down. So then go check where you have all these signs in your chart to know, okay, I have Leo in my house of reputation, so I don't need to be the main character in my office or in my job. Okay, I need to know that I'm wearing pride as an armor. So just check in each chart, okay? So pride as armor, like Leos are known for their pride, right? And when it becomes a shield against vulnerability, it actually blocks from reaching you. Okay, so you need to let go of that. Okay, there are some people that are destined to find amazing love. I have psychic friends and they've been predicting love, love, love for Leo people. Okay, and I see some people in the comment being like, oh, never, I will never fall in love. I don't want to fall in love again. But what if it's in your destiny to fall in love? Do you understand? So, and then you also need to understand something. The way the matrix is set up, all right, you're gonna see relationships scatter more than marriages that actually make sense because they don't want the union of people together. Do you understand? So that too is a patriarchal structure that is also going to die. Leo in your 12th house has the house of your subconscious or the unseen. Okay, and you're also a Scorpio as well. So pay attention. This is for you. So as your 12th house, you're being asked the subconscious voice in your head that tells you that you're not worth it, or that you need to do more, or that criticizes you or judges you for wanting to be seen. Okay, so that voice, you need to let go of it. You need to trample on it. You need to, you know, move on from it, or finally like release it from you. Okay, and know your worth. All right. So next, validation seeking disguised as confidence. Okay, that's a Leo thing as well. So check where it is in your chart. Where have you been disguising confidence, but it's actually you seeking validation? Okay, so me myself, I'm a Leo rising. I've had to work on myself for that. All right, there are times where I would do some things because I wanted validation, but I've come to accept that my light does not really need an audience, even if I have just one person on this life. Okay, so true Leo confidence is self-sourced. Okay, it comes from within. You are ruled by the sun. Wherever you have Leo in your chart, it is ruled by the sun, and the sun is self-generating, doesn't need anything to survive. Okay, the planets revolve around it. God damn it. So yeah, so then so this eclipse is helping you to cut the cord between your self-worth and your external praise. Your self-worth and your external praise. Okay, cut that cord. Your self-worth doesn't need the validation of other people. Do you understand me? Then we have old creative identities that no longer fit. All right, you need to let go of that. Whether you're the artist, the lover, the leader, honor who you were before, but let it go to become who you're becoming. Do you understand? So something that used to be in the past, let it go. A new chapter is coming. All right, then also over how you're perceived, how people see you. Okay, naturally, the way I did something, I don't know how I had a little bit of something, I would have ended that life. I would have ended that life immediately and be like, oh my God, people cannot see that. But I literally do not care because mistakes happen. Okay, I'm human and I'm not trying to be something that I'm not. Okay, so let go of that control over how you're perceived, because if you're always caring about how people see you, you're never literally gonna do what you're meant to do. Okay, so you cannot curate your way to genuine love or genuine calling. All right, people can only love the real you, and like I said, people are detaching from performance. So if you're still working from a place of performance, you're not gonna get that thing that you need. I'm serious. All right. So, what are the good things to expect, especially wherever you have Leo in your chart for the next 6 months? Expect, af- expect to have one of the most creative, fertile periods of your life. And when I'm talking about fertility, giving birth to projects, okay, giving birth to new things, giving birth to a new identity, having great ideas that when you launch them, they can bring in massive returns, massive ROI. So check where you have Leo in your chart. Whatever it is that you need to release, once you let it go, you're going to experience that fertility for the next 6 months. The faster you do it, the better. Okay. So I think new artistic directions, new passion projects, new ways of expressing yourself that feel more authentically you than anything before, those things will happen. So if it's in your career, it's gonna happen. Okay, you could get opportunities to help you do that. If it's in your partnerships, you could get a man or a boo boo, somebody that you know could come into your life. Yeah. Okay. Having dreams of giving birth doesn't literally mean that you're gonna get pregnant. It might mean you get pregnant, or it might mean that you give birth to something that would literally launch your new identity to the world. Okay. So then expect new artistic directions. Okay, expect relationships that truly see you. And when I say relationships, I mean friendships, I mean partnerships, I mean people that see you for who you are. Okay, so this is what we're talking about. All right, people that align with you. Expect leadership that comes from service. I beg go like as we did. So I don't want any belly. I don't want any pregnancy right now. I just want to give birth to creative projects. So leadership that comes from service, okay, your magnetism will get amplified, okay, when it is directed towards uplifting others, amplified, and then you become a leader people actually follow rather than simply admire from a distance. Do you understand? Then expect your heart to heal as well. Okay, we're talking genuine emotional openness here. Okay, then expect recognition to come to you. All right, where you're not chasing validation, where you're not seeking validation, expect it to come to you. All right, so here are things for you to avoid doubling down on your ego. Okay, wherever it is you have it in your chart, avoid doubling down on your ego, avoid dramatic exits and ultimatums. Okay, so a shadow side of Leo is to make grand gestures of pride. Okay, so be careful of burning bridges. I'd like a boo boo that is not married. Yeah, there's a reason for that. Sorry, Pam. Sorry. Oh my god, it's I think it's actually something that most, but yeah, we would all like somebody that is single and not married or have a baby mama or is gay. That's crazy. So yeah, I wish that for you, babe. Anyway, so avoid doubling down on your ego, okay? Don't perform harder. Don't rush, don't push in more, don't dig in more, don't tighten your hands more. Okay? Let me turn this off. The AC is giving me cough. Excuse me. So then be careful of burning bridges or walking away from situations that actually just need healing. Okay, be careful of burning bridges or letting go of people, or turning your back against people. Be careful of that. Situations that you know that okay can be fixed by communicating, do that instead of just cutting people off or ghosting people. That's pride. Also, avoid confusing your soul's calling with your ego's craving. Okay, so check yourself. Are you doing this? Okay, what lights you up? What makes, or is it, or are you doing something because of how it makes you look or how you want people to see you? So your overall message is that right now your suspension feels like failure, but it isn't. You're going through a divine recalibration. So you need to stop, you need to be still, you need to see your life from the upside down angle or from a fresh perspective. Okay, the world is yours. You're completing a soul performance cycle that may have taken years or even lifetimes. Okay, so this moment, this next 6 months, is your cosmic graduation. So walk across the stage with grace, all right? And your creative life, your heart, your radiance is going to overflow in ways that actually nourish rather than exhaust you. Now, moving on to Taurus. So I see that this is a whole lot. All right. So I'm just going to breeze through. Okay. So maybe in another video, we can dissect it one by one. So I'm just going to list it, breeze through. And if there's enough time, then I'll just go in depth. Or if you have questions, I'll go in depth for you. So, Taurus, the eclipse is in your sister fixed sign and is activating your fourth house that rules the home, the roots, the family, the ancestry. Okay. Your foundation, okay, your subconscious, all the programming in your head, okay, all the things that they've told you over time since you were a child and now you have grown into an adult. These are structures, of beliefs or belief systems. That's why it's called a system, because it is a structure of every single thing or every single belief that you have accumulated since you were born. So if you come from a family, sorry about that. Yeah, there are people like that, and then there are people that attract people that are younger than them. So, but at some point, it's gonna change. I promise you that it's gonna switch when your energetic frequency changes. And then there are some people that are actually destined to marry somebody older than them. But I don't think 20 years older is actually in your destiny, though. No. So anyway, like I was talking about the fourth house, right? It represents your foundation. All right. So this is your most private and foundational layer. So wherever you see Taurus or wherever you have Taurus, go check that in your chart, okay? Check that in your check that in your chart, okay? And this is where you're going to be experiencing some things. So we have signs and symptoms you could be experiencing right now. You could be experiencing a domestic upheaval. So if you're a Taurus, let me know. Say hi in the chat. You could be experiencing changes in your home, family dynamic shifting, living situation. What felt stable is suddenly not stable. Okay, if you're experiencing that, let me know. Then financial anxiety. Okay, Taurus people could be experiencing anxiety around money right now. Throat on neck tension, that could also be part of it. Resistance to change, but you're disguising it as being practical. I mean, that stubbornness is there, so that could be part of it. Then it could also be sensory. You could be experiencing sensory overload, where you're sensitive to noise, sensitive is not going anywhere. What's that? Taurus in the eighth house. That's the house of shared resources. Okay, where other people give you money or where you have to share money with people. Okay, it's also the house of intimacy as well. So you could be experiencing sensory overload. Okay, you might find you're sensitive to sound, no, even smells will become overwhelming for you. Okay, this is your nervous system asking you to rest. Okay, then you could be experiencing nostalgia and grief as well, longing for the past, for how things were, mourning a version of your life or a relationship that is transitioning. These are all part of the symptoms you'll be experiencing as you're going through your rebirth. Okay, so what is exactly. So what this eclipse is telling you to do or to let go of is the illusion that staying put equals staying safe. That not making a move means that you're safe. No, you're not. Okay, so the most dangerous thing for Taurus right now is refusing to take action or to move because movement for you feels threatening. Okay, then second is emotional hoarding. As a Taurus person, you're holding on to people, relationships, feelings, or even objects far past their expiry date. You're being asked to let go of habit versus genuine nourishment. Okay, then you need to let go of your need to control the outcome before taking the step. You want to plan ahead of time, you want to see the way things everything is. No, you want the guarantee before taking action, and that is wrong. There is no guarantee available right now. When you take the step, that is when you will see the next thing to do. Okay, so then you need to let go of old family or ancestral patterns, the way they used to do things in your family that no longer aligns. You need to let go of it. So things that you've absorbed in your childhood about your worth, your self-worth, your money, your love, your safety, all these things are coming to the surface for you to finally let go of it. Do you understand? Then that false comfort of the familiar, you're being asked to let go of that as well. So your comfort zone has become a cage for you that is keeping you from taking action. You're being asked to come out of that and take a leap forward so that you can finally give birth to something amazing. Okay, so the eclipse is unlocking that door and helping you to let go of that. Okay, so what are good things for you to expect for the next 6 months? Okay, sorry about my nose keeps itching when I talk, it itches. Anyway, for the next 6 months, expect a new sense of home. This could be a brand new home, okay, or renovation, or simply feeling at home in yourself, like in a way that you've never had before, okay. Expect financial growth, but through new channels. financial growth through new channels. So check where you have Taurus in your chart. All right. That stability that you're craving, it comes from that action you're refusing to take. Then creative and sensory pleasure. Okay. The Empress is essentially the Taurus card. So you're invited into deep pleasure, beauty creation, gardening, cooking, art, music, love. Okay. All these things are going to arrive in abundance for you. Okay. As yourself. Then your Chiron represents where you have wounds that you need to heal. And Chiron is currently retrograde in Taurus. So you're feeling this very deep. Yours is really deep. You're going through a whole lot, Pame. You're going through a whole lot. So sorry about that. Anyway, so let's move forward. Also expect deeper and more honest relationships to come into your life. Okay, the people who stay after this eclipse season is over are your real people, so pay attention to that. Also expect a healed relationship with your body and also the physical world. So if you don't have a healed relationship with your body, or you have issues with body image, okay, expect to heal that. Yeah, this whole point of Chiron or the wound healing is for you to eventually let go of all the things that have been hurting you. So just let these things happen to you, let these things flow, you're gonna be okay. All right. So as a Taurus, or whatever it is that you have Taurus in your chart, it's fine, blessing. You can always watch the replay if you want to, and we still have a lot to talk about anyway. So, shadow side to avoid is stubbornness as self destruction, eating, spending, or sensory indulgence as emotional numbing. So, I think what I'm just going to do is I'm going to list the signs and symptoms, and then I'm going to list the overall message, and then probably do okay what this eclipse is telling you to do, and then the good things at the shadow side. I'm going to do that as content, okay, so that we can speed things up. All right. So, what to avoid: stubbornness, eating, spending, and sensory indulgence. Okay, you're Taurus, you know how to spend. You like your comfort. Not noting Taurus retrograde. Wow. Okay, so Taurus is your future, your higher self, what you need to become. Nice, interesting. Okay, so then let go of possessiveness in relationships as well. Okay, so your message to us is that you're being asked to specifically release your grip on results. Okay, you cannot build the new foundation while still holding on to the old one. Okay, so you're going through a long cycle of building, accumulating, and holding what is completing. All right. So what you built was always the preparation. Now you get to inhabit it differently. So what to expect: abundance, beauty, sensuality, and creation is coming to you. But this is after you have released yourself. All right. Release all those things that you're holding on to, especially when it comes to your family or your foundations, and then plant seeds that will bear enormous fruit. Scorpio, check where you have Scorpio in your chart. If you're a Scorpio rising, sun, moon, North Node, okay, this is for you. So you are the phoenix that is releasing the ash. So I'm going to list some signs and symptoms, what the eclipse is telling you to let go of, and then the overall message, okay, so that we can speed things up. So the eclipse is activating your 10th house. Okay, and this 10th house represents your career, your public life, your public image, how people see you, your reputation, your legacy. That is the 10th house. Okay, so but it's also opposing your sun directly if you're a Scorpio. Okay, so this is hitting your public face and long-term direction. So signs and symptoms you could be experiencing right now could be career upheaval or major pivot. So if you lost your job, or something happened at your job, workplace, business, brand, social media, whatever it is that has to do with your career, okay, your title, your role, power dynamics surfacing, whether in works or in relationship. Okay, so people trying to control you, or people trying to bully you, or something like that. The eclipse is going to expose who actually holds power in your key relationships, and whether it is a healthy one. All right, then you could be experiencing intense dreams. If you're a Scorpio, say hi in the comments. You could be experiencing intense dreams, sleeplessness, or vivid visions. Okay, whenever you have Scorpio in your chart, also let me know. All right. So this is deeply connected to your subconscious, right? So wow. And Ania Keme, you relate, right? So this eclipse season is amplifying this to cinematic levels when it comes to intense dreams. So Pame, you are Scorpio in Scorpio rising. Wow, beautiful. Scorpio and Sun in Scorpio's second house. Wow, intense. Okay, intense dreams, sleeplessness, vivid visions, right? Scorpio rising here. Interesting. So pay attention to your dreams and write them down, okay? Because this eclipse season is going to amplify things to cinematic level. You're gonna be seeing those dreams in 4K. Okay. Hi Nafisat, how are you? So you could also be experiencing obsessive thoughts that are looping and ruminating, okay, in your head. That is also one of the signs. Then your sexual or creative energy. I hope I can say that on live. Your intimacy or creative energy that feel it could feel blocked or overwhelming for you. So it's either it's too intense or you're not feeling anything at all. Okay, those are one of the symptoms. Then confrontations with mortality, death, transformation, and death. Okay, this you could experience conversations around these things right now. But she might have Scorpio somewhere in her chart. Okay. So Scorpios, you could be experiencing conversations, events, or encounters that force you to reckon with impermanence. Okay, you could have gotten a health scare recently or suffered a loss. Yes, because you have Scorpio in your 12th house. So Pamela, yeah, so these are all the symptoms that you are going through a rebirth. Okay. So what the eclipse is telling you to let go of, please pay attention or check where it is in your chart to know where you need to let go of these things. Let go of the need to control by being secretive. Okay. Scorpio's greatest gift is depth, discernment, perception, but it can become your greatest wound when weaponized as isolation or manipulation. Okay. Then also let go of resentment that you've been protecting like a treasure, old malice from the past. You might have kept a grievance or many so long that they have become a load. They have become walls in your personality. They need to calm down. Let go of that malice. Forgive. Forgive. Okay. Um, Also, you need to let go of a career or a public identity that no longer reflects who you truly are. All right, that marks that you wear publicly. Yeah, let go of that grudge, baby. He's pulling you back, he's holding you back, baby. So the marks that you wear publicly is misaligned with your soul underneath. So the eclipse is cracking that marks. Let go of a career or a public identity that no longer reflects who you are. Exactly, you need to let go of that, because if you're meant to get somewhere but you're isolating yourself, how can the people that are meant to help you see you? Or how can somebody that will help you? So then let go of your belief that vulnerability equals weakness. Okay, being vulnerable does not mean you're weak. Okay, let go of that. All right, this is your core scorpionic wound, and the eclipse is going direct for that. Okay, it's going straight for the bullseye. All right, and also let go of power plays and strategic emotional withholding in relationships. Oh wow, that's intense. Let her write it down. Okay, there is a reason for that. All right, you don't feel attacked. Oh my god. So um power plays, strategic emotional withholding in relationships. You know what you do, and the eclipse is saying that it's time for you to stop playing all those mind games. All right, so your entire message, it's about the eclipse that is happening tomorrow, August 12th. I'm trying to give people message on the next 6 months, what they need to let go of in order to prepare for the next 6 months. Okay. So Your message as a Scorpio, or whatever it is that you have Scorpio in your chart, is death before rebirth. Okay, you know this like the back of your own hand. You've been through many transformations in life. Trust it this time instead of fighting it. Okay, the world card for you means a profound soul completion. Okay, so you are ending a huge karmic cycle that has been spanning multiple years and multiple relationships. It might not necessarily mean it would happen. I mean, this is for somebody that is asking about the dream. It might not mean it will happen, but it also means that your girlfriend should be very careful of something that could possibly happen. Okay. So it could be an argument. Like I said, did I not mention Taurus having family issues, guys, before this person came online? I said it. Taurus people are gonna have their own things around family, home, okay, foundations. So anything that will come up that will make her to be her sister or to fight with her sister, she should just pay attention to it and know how to pivot or know how to calm down. All right. Like it's signifying that something or an issue is going to arise between her and her sister and she needs to fix it, or she needs to know how to maneuver or hold herself back. Okay. Thank you very much, Pamela. So Scorpios, you're graduating from your deepest wound. Okay, this is what this eclipse is trying to help you do. All right, sorry, I'm scratching my nose. When I talk, my nose itches a lot. So after you've burnt and let go of all those grievances, and you are being reborn, it's now time for you to create, because creating means new life, new work, new love, new bay, new purpose. Okay, the creative overflow available to you on the other side is going to be staggering. 2027 is going to be staggering for you, but only if you do the work. So moving on to Aquarius. Aquarius people, sun, moon, rising, or check wherever you have it in your chart. Okay, you are the revolutionary releasing the resistance. Okay, the North Node is in your sign, Pluto retrograde is in your sign. You are the destination of this entire eclipse. You are the destination that every one of us is going towards. So while Leo is helping people to release something in their ego, Aquarius, you are the one that is receiving us. Okay, but first, you have to show up for the receiving. So here are signs and symptoms you could be experiencing right now. How to step forward that terrifies you. So check where you have Aquarius in your chart, because you're going to experience that. Okay. So the universe is literally pointing a cosmic arrow at Aquarius people right now. And that could come in the form of leadership, visibility, okay, purpose knocking on your door. Okay, so if you feel a calling to something, excuse me, if you feel a calling to something, okay, check where it is in your chart. All right, so your instinct is to intellectualize rather than answer to it, and that is wrong. You need to obey that calling, that thing that you're feeling in your first and your 12th, exactly. So that subconscious thing has been in your head telling you you need to do this thing, but you have been ignoring it, or it feels terrifying to you. You need to listen to that voice. Also, another symptom could be detachment that has become disconnection. Okay, because as an Aquarius, you pride yourself being too emotional, right? But lately, that detachment may have crossed into you being numb or isolating yourself or feeling floating, like you're floating outside of your own life. Okay, so if you resonate, let me know in the comments. Then also, another symptom could be technology, innovation, or humanitarian impulses surging within you. So you could be getting new ideas, new systems, new visions for how things could be, and they could be flooding your mind. This is not random. Write them down, baby. Okay. So you could also be expressing tension in your friendships and community. Okay. So your social circles are reconstructing, friends are living your life, connections that are outdated are also leaving. So new and more aligned communities will emerge. Embrace them, okay, instead of isolating yourself. Then you could also be experiencing ankle, shin, or circulatory symptoms. So this is where Aquarius rules. So if you're experiencing restlessness in your legs, or your need to move, you understand, or poor circulation, these are symptoms. Okay, then there is a sense of being ahead of your time. Aha, thank you for confirming. I love when people confirm from me, it makes me so happy. Anyway, so there could be a sense of also being ahead of your time more than usual. Your ideas may feel misunderstood. If you try to tell people, they are like, what are you saying? It means you're ahead of your time. You're seeing into the future. You're already tapping into future frequency. Okay. So you might feel out of step with those around you. This is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It's actually a sign that you are here to build. You are actually part of the future. So what this eclipse is telling you to let go of as an Aquarius person, or check where Aquarius is in your chart. Okay. Emotional unavailability, dressed up as independence. Okay. Repent. True freedom is not the absence of connection. Neptune in Aquarius in your fifth house, that's the house of creativity, that's the house of play, flirting, romance. Okay, so but Neptune in there could create a fog or an illusion around things. Yeah, I like giving symptoms that call people out, because I want them to feel seen. I want them to be like, I see you. So, and this is what you need to do about that. So thank you for that. Anyway, so like I was saying, let go of emotional unavailability, dressed up as independence. Okay, you're not fooling anybody, baby. You need to let go of that. Be emotionally available. I'm so afraid of Aquarius people. Like, if anybody comes to me and is like, I'm an Aquarius person, I used to look at them sideways, because y'all are very detached. Jesus. If I have the time, I'll do it again. Anyway, so then let go of the fear of being wrong, or being outdated or ordinary. Let go of it. Okay. Don't be afraid. You are Oh my God. Don't be afraid. Okay. You're going to be okay. Then let go of intellectual bypassing of emotional truth, right? So you can be somebody that analyzes your feelings from 50 different angles. I've not done, yes, I've done Leo. Leo was one I did first. You can scroll back to see where I started from Leo. So just scroll back a bit. So if you want Taurus too, scroll back a bit. I've spoken about Taurus, so just scroll back. So you can analyze your feelings from 50 different angles, these Aquarius, without ever actually feeling them. The eclipse is asking you to feel first and think second for once. Okay? So try and feel, tap into your feelings. Then also you're being asked to let go of, okay, being the outcast. All right, and being okay with that. All right, so as an Aquarian, some Aquarians, they like this idea of I don't fit in, identity. They wear it like a badge of honor, like, okay, I'm weird, whatever. Chillax. Okay, so if belonging requires you to change nothing, then you've made the outsider role an ego structure. Let it go and change what you need to change. Okay, then lastly, let go of old humanitarian missions or group identities that no longer reflect your evolution. Okay, so you may have outgrown certain causes, groups, or ideologies. It's okay to evolve past them. So your overall message is to release your certainty about how change happens and who gets to lead it. Okay, surrender your blueprint, and allow the universe to show you a better one. Also, the world card is being handed to you by this eclipse. Eclipse is also passing the torch. Are you going to receive it or not? Okay, so the 21 moment is your completion and your new beginning, and you're being asked to reconnect with your body, your emotions, your pleasure, the things that give you pleasure, reconnect with community. Okay, find joy with human beings, stop being alone. Okay, find joy in human beings. All right. So with the sheer joy of being human among human beings, okay. So your revolution starts when you start being alive. So that's that for fixed signs. All right. So let's move on to let's move on to cardinal signs. Okay. So cardinal signs, this eclipse is a call to action for you. Okay. As cardinals, and when I'm talking about cardinals, I'm talking Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, Here, say hi. All right. So you are the initiators of the zodiac. Excuse me. You're the initiators of the zodiac. You're the ones who start things. Okay. You're the ones who start new seasons, new chapters, new movements. Okay. Your superpower is your drive, your leadership, your ability to begin. Okay. So, but it's also your kryptonite. You start things, but you don't always finish them. Okay. And then you can be impulsive when pressure, you are under pressure. Okay. So, this total solar eclipse is operating in the most absolute severe pressure. Libra sun, okay? So, and it's not going to soften or dilute, it's going to interrupt things in your life. So, visibility will collapse, all right? So that something fundamental can reset. So, if you're on social media, you might react something like that, or you feel like people don't see you, that's because they need you to be invisible so that you can go through a research. Okay. So the universe is not asking you to start something new yet, it's asking you to clear the clutter in your life first, because you cannot launch from a cluttered launch pad. Okay. So let's see what you're being asked to do. So naturally, as a cardinal sign, you desperately want to do. Oh my god, which one is it? Is it Aries, Cancer, Capricorn? Which one? So, as a cardinal sign, you desperately want to do something, you want to take action, but the eclipse is saying no, stop doing, stand and be still. The pause is the action. Okay. Then something you have been building, leading, or initiating for years is finally completing its first full cycle. Also, what you create on the other side of this rebirth is going to be your most fertile, most aligned work yet. So this is your preparation phase. So Aries, sun, moon, rising, check wherever it is in your chart and apply this message there. So the warrior, you are the warrior releasing the battle. Okay. So this eclipse, this is like a full birth chart reading that I'm doing for you. Okay. So check wherever you have Aries in your chart, like check each. These are messages for each houses in your chart. So this eclipse is activating your 11th house of friendships, community, social causes. This is for Aries risings, future visions, collective belonging. So Aries rising, your 11th house is being activated. All right. Then for all other people, as a warrior, you're being called out of your personal arena into a communal one. So signs and symptoms you could be experiencing: tensions around friendship or your social circle. Okay. So groups that you belong to, things that you used to fight for, communities you used to be in, they are all restructuring. Aries third house, that's your house of communication and expression. Okay. Also the house of siblings as well. So your communication with your siblings. So some people are simply no longer on your frequency and you can feel it. Aries moon, that's your, what house is it in? So you could also be experiencing a sudden restlessness about the future. Okay. So if you're an Aries, you're experiencing restlessness about the future, your head and face, you could be having headaches, migraines, clenching your jaw, tension in your face and scalp. These are all signs of the eclipse. Okay. You're carrying thoughts and battles in your skull that needs to be released. And then proportionate, okay, disproportionate. Okay. So you may be flaring up at things that wouldn't usually bother you this intensely. If you resonate, let me know in the comments. Fifth house, that's your house of creativity. So this is old fire looking for an exit. It's not about the trigger, it's about what the trigger represents. Okay, so pay attention. You could also be experiencing an unexpected humanitarian calling, like you feel like something bigger than you is calling you. If you resonate, let me know in the comments as well. Then you could be feeling unsupported or misunderstood by your circle. These are all part of the symptoms. What you are being asked to do, or is let go of your lone wolf identity. I can do it all by myself. Let go of it and repent. Okay. Then old friend groups or social loyalties, that you've kept out of habit or history, you're being asked to let go of them as well. Anger, okay, don't let anger be your primary language or your primary means of communication, because Aries people usually default to aggression, right? So let go of that. Let go of your need to be the leader in every room, okay? Let go of dreams and future visions that belong to your past self, okay? So I'll be elaborating more on this later on. So your overall message is you're being asked to put down the sword. Sorry. You're being asked to put down the sword, not forever, but just long enough to see which battles are actually worth fighting. The pause is actually the power move for you. Okay. That will be later. Okay. So you're completing a solo chapter that began years ago. Okay. You've proven what you can do alone. And the world card is saying, now prove what you can do with somebody else, with humanity. I'm a lone wolf. Okay, I can do it all by myself. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. So you're being called to create something that serves more than just yourself. Okay. And then after that, your creative fire is going to push you into the spotlight, going to bring you massive returns. So that's that for Aries. Moving on to Cancer. Check wherever you have Cancer in your chart. Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. You are the natural releasing the need to be needed. Okay, so this is gonna for Cancer risings. This is activating your second house that rules your values, your money, your self worth, your possessions, and even your resources. Okay, so this is hitting the place where you assign value to things. Okay, so signs and symptoms you could be experiencing right now is anxiety around money or finances or changes in your finances, chest and stomach symptoms. Okay, because Cancer rules the fifth and sixth. Wow, damn. Okay, six, like I said, is the house of romance and play and creativity. Six is the house of your daily work and routines. Okay, so Cancer rules the chest, the breast, the stomach. It also rules the digestive system. So if you're experiencing digestive issues, stomach issues, anxiety, chest tightness, or discomfort in your body, these are part of the eclipse symptoms. All right. So then a dawning realization that you've been overgiven could come suddenly come upon you. All right. So if you've been overgiven in your area of work, area of creativity, area of play, whatever it is, it's coming to you, you're realizing it now. Then another symptom could be old wounds around self-worth surfacing, also clinging to people, situations, or financial habits past their expiry date. All these things are things you need to let go of. Okay, then also heightened, you're going to be highly sensitive during this period. Okay, you could also be experiencing psychic receptivity during this period. Okay, you are like highly very psychic during this period. So pay attention to that and learn to distinguish what is your energy and what belongs to other people. Okay, so what this eclipse is telling you to let go of is number one, let go of the identity of being the caretaker. Okay. Let go of the need to be the one that fixes. All right. Then financial patterns that you inherited from your family, the way your family spends money or the way your family thinks about money, like poverty mindset, scarcity thinking, your money beliefs, you need to let go of that. Then next you need to let go of people pleasing as a survival strategy. Okay, areas where you've been people pleasing, you need to, or performing, these are performance things. Okay, let go of that. The next, to say for you, even when you know it no longer serves you. Okay, and then let go of the belief that receiving is selfish. Yeah, let go of the belief that receiving is selfish. Okay, allow people to give to you, allow the universe to give to you. Okay, so your overall message is you're being specifically asked to stop holding everyone else up and allow yourself to be who you want to be. Allow yourself to rest, allow yourself to receive support rather than only giving it. Allow yourself to demand for it. This is not weakness, this is what will make you feel whole. You need other people to pour into you instead of you always pouring. Okay. like you giving your phone to everybody to use in order to snap pictures. They snap, 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 snap. At the end of the day, they hand you your phone back and it has a low battery. And then, you know, you cannot use it to snap. Okay, but because you want to please people, you don't want people to feel like, oh, she has an iPhone. She's the only one that has an iPhone, so she like standoffish. She doesn't want us to use it. Fuck what they say. What fuck what they think. Excuse me. Do you understand me? Use it for yourself. All right. When you use it for yourself, whatever percentage means, then you can allow people to use. Okay. But by then you've taken all the pictures you want to take. And it's not that you're just neglecting your own needs. Do you understand me? So a long cycle of earning your worth through sacrifice is coming to a completion or to an end. Okay. And the world card is saying you have graduated from the school of self-sacrifice. Your next chapter is self-sovereignty. Okay. So when you're able to get to that point of self-sovereignty, abundance will come to you. Okay, because you are able to pour into yourself the way you used to do to other people. So in all forms. We're talking financial fertility, creative fertility, emotional fertility. Like this is what will happen when you let go of these things. So that's that for Cancer. Moving on to Libra. Okay. So Libra rising sun moon, Libra sun moon and rising. Okay. And also check where you have Libra in your chart. Okay. So you are the diplomat releasing the peacekeeping performance. All right. And if you're a Libra rising, this is activating your fifth house of creativity and romance. Okay. So this is going to also hit your social and creative world. Okay. So signs and symptoms you could be experiencing: tension around relationships that you cannot ignore anymore. Saturn in Cancer 10th house. That's your house of career. Okay. So Libra, you're experiencing tensions that cannot in your relationships that you cannot ignore or smooth over anymore. In a creative surge that also feels terrifying for you. Okay, something in you wants to create, to perform, to express yourself, but doing so requires you to have an opinion, and that's where that's scary for you. Okay, it requires you to have an opinion, to take a stance for yourself. Okay, and that goes against your Libra tendency to be neutral in many situations, and that's holding you back. Okay, so then you could be experiencing lower back pain. First house, damn, wow, that means you're a Libra rising, or maybe you're a Libra rising. So and Venus rules Libra. Can you imagine? That's intense. Anyway, Libra 10th house. Interesting. First house represents how you present yourself to the world, okay, your identity, your consciousness, okay. So, and then 10th house, like I said, is career. So lower back, kidney, physical symptoms, okay. You could be experiencing lower back pain, kidney issues. Pay attention. Pay attention. I've not said any wait, Pisces? No. Pisces is coming up, okay? So lower back pain, hip tension, okay, kidney sensitivity, or feeling a general feeling of being pulled in the opposite direction. Your body is speaking to you. So then you could be experiencing indecision at an all-time high. Okay, the eclipse is going to force you to make choices. All right, but as a Libra, you hate choosing sides. So this pressure is building until a choice is made for you. Yeah. So the longer you wait, the louder it's going to get. I'm sorry. Anyway, another symptom is longing for beauty, art, love, and pleasure that almost feels so. Excuse me. So this is your soul calling you back to what matters most, right? Sorry, I'm reading from my notes. I can't cram all of this in my head. Anyway, so you might be longing for beauty, art, love, pleasure, all these things. This is your soul calling you back to what matters most. Then you could be exhausted with pleasing people right now. You could suddenly notice how much energy you spend managing other people's emotions and maintaining the peace, and it's exhausting for you. So the eclipse is shining a spotlight to it. on it and it's telling you let it go. So what the eclipse is telling you, Libras, or whatever it is that you have Libra in your chart to let go of peacekeeping as an identity. Okay, you don't need to keep the peace between two options or two people or two opposing ideas. What do you think? What do you want? What do you yourself? You be selfish. Focus on you. What do you want? Okay, not what other people want. Okay, what do you want? Let go of your need to please everyone or keep the peace. Fuck everything. Let everybody go and die. You know, I don't mean that, but you know what I'm trying to talk about. Okay, so then let go of your relationship and friendships that you kept out of guilt or social obligation instead of genuine love. Okay, friendships that no longer align with you, but they are just there because yeah, you understand. In your 11th house, wow, this hits home for you, Pame. So let go of all of them. They are not aligned with you anymore. Cut them off, okay? Then let go of creative gifts that kept you small, okay? Or creative gifts that you kept small because you felt like you don't want to outshine other people or you don't want conflict. Oh, thank you so much. Glad to resonate. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so yeah, so creative gifts that you kept small because you were afraid of outshining other people or causing conflict, you need to let it go. Then let go of your need for asking people's opinion before you take an action. Don't do that anymore. Ask yourself, what do you think? What do I think? What do I want? What decision do I want to make? Don't call anybody. Don't ask anybody's opinion for anything. That is why they keep misleading you. That's why they keep pulling you back. That's why they keep putting you in situations that only you will bear the consequence. Okay? So imagine asking me, asking them, asking everybody for an action that you need to take. Then when you take it and eventually it doesn't bad luck to you, guess who bear the consequences? You. You will bear the consequences. They won't do that for you. So next, let go of your codependent pattern dressed up as partnership, okay? Stop being the Libra energy, true Libra energy is two complete people choosing each other, not two complete people being together because they are depending on each other or they need each other, okay? So your overall message is that you're being asked to stop seeing balance as a negotiation and start finding it within yourself first. Okay, stop negotiating with other people, stop negotiating with options, find it within yourself. All right, that's when things will start to flow in your life because you're coming from a place of internal alignment, not the other way around. Okay, then a cycle of name of peace is coming to an end, whether you like it or not. So it's either you do it the hard way or you do it the soft way. Then the world card is also telling you that you have earned your own center. So stand in it. Okay. So, and then the Empress card is telling you that your artistry, your beauty, your love, your creative expression are the exact frequency that the world needs right now. So stop hiding behind it, behind diplomacy, and then let it out. Okay. So that's that for Libra. Moving on to Capricorn. We're almost done. Okay. So Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, or check where you have it in your chart. Okay. You are the mountain girl. Any Capricorn in the house, you are the mountain goat releasing the summit. Okay. So if you're a Capricorn rising, activating your eighth house, okay, of transformation, shared resources, intimacy, death and rebirth, other people's money. Capricorn moon, this applies to you. So this is going to be the most intense placement for the eclipse actually because it's directly opposite Cancer. Anyway, as a mountain goat, you're being asked to descend into your cave, okay? So signs and symptoms you could be experiencing right now. It's power and control themes in relationships or finance. Who has the control? Who holds the resources? Who is trying to control you? Are you the one that is trying to control someone else or control an outcome? Okay. Then you could also be experiencing a confrontation with anything that has to do with death, endings, deep transformation. It might not necessarily be literal death. It could be the death of a chapter, a relationship, an identity, a career path, ending. Let it happen. Then you could be experiencing issues around joint financial matters that are becoming complicated. This could be shared accounts, shared bank accounts, business partnerships, inheritances, investments, debt, loans. So these are active areas that are requiring attention from you and possibly renegotiation. Okay. Then you could be experiencing knee and joint pain. Anybody experiencing anybody experiencing that, let me know in the comments, because Capricorn rules the knees, the joints, the skeletal structure. So this knee pain and joint stiffness or bone deep fatigue is part of the symptom. Okay, you're carrying structural weight that needs to be released. Then you could be experiencing an inability to maintain your usual control. All right, because as a Capricorn, you are the so right now your mask is sleeping, and that's the whole fucking point. So, and lastly, you could be experiencing confronting intimacy fears. You could be having a fear of being vulnerable with somebody, or being close to somebody, or merging yourself with somebody. Okay, this eclipse is pushing these exact fears to the surface so that you can get rid of it. So, what the eclipse is telling you to let go of is the idea that achievement is the same as your worth. Okay, you have been climbing mountains to prove your value, and the eclipse is asking you, what if you're valuable simply because you exist? Like, that's possible. Okay, you don't need to work hard to prove something. All right, you don't need to earn validation or earn your existence. Okay, then secondly, you're being asked to let go of control over shared resources choices. So it could be in business, in relationships, in finances. You're being asked to loosen your grip, okay? Because some things are not yours to manage. Also, you're being asked to let go of emotional suppression disguised as professionalism. Because the higher you climb, the more you distance yourself from feeling or your emotions, and is costing you in the places that matter most when it comes to your intimacy, your health, and your spiritual connection. You're also being let go of, you're being asked to let go of old power structures in your fourth and fifth house. This is very important to you. So you're being asked to let go of old power structures or institutional loyalties that have solidified around you. Okay, all these systems and hierarchies that you operated within, are they serving your soul? Okay, this could also be family. Then you're being asked to let go of transactional relationships. Okay, because you're somebody that could relationships, even romantic ones, with a cost benefit analysis. Like, what do I get out of this? Okay, if I'm with this person, what do I get out of this? Or if I deal with this person, what do I get out of this? You're being asked to let go of that. And when you are having interactions with people, it should come from a genuine place. So your overall message is to, as the mountain girl, I'm sorry. As a mountain girl, you're being asked to come down from the mountain and sit in the valley for a while. Okay, the view from below might be different, but it holds wisdom that the mountain cannot. Okay, a cycle of achievement and survival is coming to an end. Okay, the world card says you've reached a summit, and now the question is not what is the next thing for me to do, what's the next ladder. You're being asked, who do you want to be at the top? Right? So you're being invited into abundance that includes joy, pleasure, and creative fulfillment alongside your material success. So you don't have to choose one or the other anymore. Okay. So that's that for all fixed signs. And finally, Mutable signs, the last signs. Okay, so if you're a Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, baby, or Pisces, let me know in the comments. Okay, say hi. And if you have it in your chart, check where you have it in your chart. Okay, so mutable signs, you're gonna this eclipse for you is gonna be a shape shifting eclipse. Okay, excuse me. So as a mutable sign, you are the adapters of the zodiac. Okay, you live at the end of each season. All right, mutable. That's why you're mutable. Mutable means flexible. Mutable means a sign that can adapt to any change. Okay, that's why yours for you, this eclipse is going to make you a shapeshifter. Okay, so your super power is flexibility, wisdom, ability to flow. Okay, I don't know how to do the whole thing, but it can also be your kryptonite because it can be so flexible that you lose your shape altogether. And that's why you have scattered brain, overthinking, people pleasing your way, or into invisibility, or just simply drifting about, okay, without no purpose. So the effects of this eclipse is something that is going to ripple out for the next 2 to 3 months or even more. Okay. So as a mutable sign, you're gonna feel this the most as a long building pressure rather than a sudden. Science is gonna be sudden, but for you, it's gonna be something long building. All right, it's gonna be something that's been building for long. So it's like a slow feeling tide rather than a wave crashing. Something that's been building for so long. So right now, this is about stopping the spinning, the endless adaptation, the shape shifting, and trying to be everything. I can relate. I can relate. I can relate. Also, you're being asked to be just one thing, okay, and be still. Then also a cycle of learning, adapting, and processing is completing in your life. You have gathered enough information. Now it's time for you to embody the wisdom. Also, the creative, communicative, and spiritual gifts of your mutable sign is being primed to overflow. So, but it has to come from a place of being rude. Okay. So let's dive in. Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, check wherever it is in your chart. Okay. As a Gemini, you're the messenger releasing the notes. Okay. So I'm sorry for scratching my nose when I talk EHs. So the eclipse, as if you're a Gemini rising, the eclipse is activating your third house of communication, local community, siblings, short journey, and even your mind. Okay, so whenever you hear third house, that's what it means. So, and this is going to be like a loudspeaker pointed at how you think, how you write, how you connect. So signs and symptoms: mental overwhelm, information overload, communication breakdowns or communication breakthroughs. And you could be experiencing misunderstandings happening more than usual, or suddenly saying something that can no longer be held back. Okay, you could be having difficulty sleeping, an inability to slow the noise in your head. Also, shoulder, arm, and lung physical symptoms. Okay, Gemini rules this. Okay, so you could be experiencing shoulder tension, arm fatigue, shortness of breath, or respiratory respiratory sensitivity. Okay, so this is your sign that this you're in the energy of this eclipse. All right, then also a story that you've been telling yourself is suddenly starting to feel empty. Okay, so maybe it's a narrative you carry about who you are, what happened to you, what's possible for you. You might start to question that. Then symptoms around sibling and local community, like tensions are rising with your siblings, okay, could come to the surface for an honest conversation. Experience this urgent need to write, to speak, to record, to communicate something. Don't ignore it. This eclipse is trying to move something through you, okay? So what this eclipse is telling Gemini to let go of, or check wherever Gemini is in your chart, write this down so that whenever I later tell you what to do, you can go and check it and then know where to apply these messages. So you're being asked to let go of the old story, whatever narrative you've been telling yourself that no longer serves you, cut it out. Secondly, you're being asked to let go of mental avoidance, okay, disguised as curiosity. Let go of superficial connections kept for stimulation rather than substance. Okay, the friends you're keeping or the way of life that you're having. Okay, you should always prioritize quality over quantity, especially now in your life. Okay, so then you get busy about thinking without ever even implementing that thing. Stop it. Let go of being duplicitous. Okay, Gemini is a sign of the twins, but when the two halves are completely at war, it can create internal chaos within you. Okay, so this eclipse asking for integration in you. Do you understand me? All right, so then words and agreements that no longer reflect your truth, you're being asked to let go of that. Okay, so this could be contracts, this could be promises, this could be commitments that you have outgrown. They need honest renegotiation. So your overall message is that you're being asked to stop and listen in your night house. That's your house of beliefs and expanded knowledge or travel. So you're being asked to stop and listen. Don't be so quick to respond. Don't be so quick to, you understand, not to respond, not to process, but to receive information, to receive insight. Okay, what is you that you keep talking over, that you keep distracting yourself from? Okay, you're going through a cycle of learning, researching, and gathering information for the next 6 months, and it's come, and those cycle of you just learning and preparing and not taking action is coming to an end. And then the world card is saying that you already know enough. You know enough. Okay, you don't need to keep hiding behind the preparation stage. You are wise enough. So integrate everything that you know right now and express, start to communicate from that wisdom that you have accumulated. Okay? And then once you're able to do that, your throat chakra is going to be activated in the most magnificent way. All right? Those words, those stories, those ideas, those messages that you carry, they're going to become creative seeds that if you plant them now, the bring severe harvest for you. So that's that for Gemini. Moving on to Virgo. We're almost done. I'm so happy. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for sticking around. This really makes my day. Thank you so much. I really need that watch time. So thank you. Anyway, so Virgo, you are the healer that is releasing the inner critic within you. Okay. So this eclipse, if you're a Virgo rising, is going to be activating your 12th house. So write that down. The 12th house rules the subconscious, hidden matters, spirituality, self undoing, self sabotage, dreams, and what is hidden from view. Okay, so this is the most mystical and hidden planet placement for you. Okay, for any eclipse. Okay, so here are signs and symptoms you could be experiencing. You could be experiencing this profound desire to isolate, to retreat, to rest, to be alone. It's not depressing, it's not a depression kind of thing, but it's a genuine soul level need for solitude, silence, and inward journey. Okay, so it's not a depression thing, it's something that is needed. Also, you could be experiencing old hidden matters coming to the surface. You could suddenly hear about a secret could be revealed to you, past situations could come up, buried emotional patterns could come up. Okay, these are all symptoms. Then digestive and nervous system. Virgos always have issues with their digestive system. Maybe that's why they are picky eaters. Mm. So digestive and nervous system issues. So you could be having gut issues, anxiety in the stomach, nervous system sensitivity. If you're experiencing anything like this, let me know in the comments. Or then you could also be criticizing yourself excessively, and this thing is getting to a peak. Okay, it's getting very serious. This inner critic within you is now becoming very loud. So if you resonate, let me know in the comments. Then you could be experiencing a situation where you are now longing for spirituality, or you're seeking an awakening in spiritual matters. Okay, and that longing is becoming uncomfortable for you. These are part of symptoms. Also, your dreams could be unusually vivid during this period and very symbolic. These are also symptoms. So what this eclipse is trying to tell you to let go of is let go of that inner critic, that inner voice that is like making you feel like you're not enough or that you're not doing enough. You need to understand that this is a fear response, not a wisdom response. Okay, so the eclipse is cutting this pattern at the root. Then perfectionism that prevents let go of that. Okay, so the project, the relationship, the life chapter, everything, you need to let go of that. All those needs for you to be perfect, you need to let go of it. You need to let go of being a martyr in service. When I say martyr, somebody, the wounded one, the one that is always the victim. You understand? Service without boundaries becomes martyrdom. All right, you need to let go of that. You need to let go of your anxiety as a default state. Okay, let go of all of those things. Those all these things will come to an end, whether you like it or not. Then let go of hidden grief or old wounds kept private out of shame. Okay, something that was held in secret for too long. This eclipse is going to offer a doorway for you to release it gently but completely. Okay, so that's that for Virgo. Your overall message is that your 12th house is the house of time perspective. You don't need to figure it all out. You just need to trust the process. Okay, that cycle of criticizing yourself, of perfectionism that has run your life, is coming to an end. You are enough. You need to know that you are enough. You have always been enough. You have always been enough. Okay, so and you're finally going to graduate from that cycle of self-judgment and, you know, into a place of trusting yourself. Okay, so and then you need to know that your body is sacred. The service that you give others is also sacred. Your creative gifts are also sacred. So let them flow without trying to censor yourself. Okay, the most unedited version of you is actually the most beautiful. So that's that for Virgo. And moving on to Sagittarius, and after that we have Pisces, and then we're done. I'm shouting. Anyway, so Saggy babies, please give me a moment. Okay, I'm back. I have to go and take some water. Okay, so Sagittarius people, how are you guys? Big Sag, big Sag, hey, big Sag, big Sag. Hey Sagittarius, hey sexy, hey beautiful, hey handsome, hey how. So if you're a Sagittarius, let me know in the comments. Someone rising, or check where Sagittarius is in your chart. Okay, and I stole that greeting from a reader on this platform. I just love the way she greets Sagittarius people. Until I find my own, I'ma just greet you like that. Okay, so manage it. Anyway, let's move on. So if you're a Sagittarius rising, this eclipse is activating your ninth house of higher learning, philosophy, travel. Write this down. Ninth house rules higher learning, philosophy, travel, belief systems, publishing, and spirituality. It also rules for foreign lands. Okay, so you're being asked to examine the very arrows of belief that you've been shooting and ask, are they still true for you? So signs and symptoms you could be experiencing right now is a crisis of belief. Okay, something you were certain of, like maybe a philosophy, a religion, a worldview, a political position, right now. And this is not a sign that you were wrong, it is a sign that you are growing. Okay, so you could be experiencing restlessness, okay, or a need to travel, or you need to move, a need to explore, to escape the ordinary in your life. You could also be experiencing hip and thigh tension, okay, sciatica, thigh fatigue, or a restlessness that lives in your lower body, okay. Move your body, you're being asked to move your body. Anyways, so a call, a book, a course, a teacher, or a philosophy is calling to you with unusual urgency, okay. So pay attention to what you're being drawn to learn or explore during this moment, okay. Then avoid, you could be experiencing preachiness, okay, you could be feeling preachy or self-righteous. Oh, thank you so much, thank you, Nafisat. So you could be feeling preachy, having that flare up within you, and then a strange emptiness feeling after. So your shadow is showing you where you're being inauthentic, okay. Then you could be experiencing international or cross cultural connections, okay. Foreign people could be connecting to you online, okay. A person or an opportunity or an experience from another country or culture could be entering your life with this eclipse, okay. Okay, Sachi babies, I'm rooting with you. Anyway, so this eclipse is telling you to let go of your doctrine, okay, whatever belief system that you have been carrying within yourself, whether spiritual, political, philosophical, personal. The eclipse is allowing you or asking you to loosen your grip on it long enough for new things to come in, okay. Then you could be experiencing escapism disguised as adventure. Know the difference between the two, okay. There's a difference between genuinely expanding knowledge or genuinely expanding yourself and then running away from the hard work in your life. Pluto in Sagittarius, third house. Third house rules communication, your mind. Okay. And then Pluto there, that's death and rebirth, transformation through the expansion of knowledge in your mind. Okay. So, you could also be experiencing Sagittarius. You could be experiencing a situation where, oh, sorry, you're being asked to let go of preaching what you have not embodied. Okay, Sagittarius people know how to teach and inspire, but the most powerful teaching comes from what you have genuinely lived. Okay, it comes from your own experience or your own understanding of something. Preaching what you have not embodied is inauthenticity. Okay, so then you're being asked commitment to future plans at the expense of your present reality. As the archer, you're always having a next target, a next thing to aim for. Okay, but you're being asked, what about right now? What about where you are right now? What are you doing? Because if you're always focused on the next thing, you're practicing something called bypassing. All right, you're not truly living. You're not truly living. Okay. So, and then lastly, you're being asked to let go of cultural or intellectual arrogance. Okay, because that's your shadow side, superior wisdom or acting like you know better than other people. Okay, the eclipse is going to humble you. It will do that gently, but it's going to humble you in an unmistakable way, so you have to watch out for that. So your overall message is, okay, to stop seeking new knowledge for a moment and sit with what you already know. Stop seeking new knowledge, okay, sit with what you already know. Answer, Sagittarius in the second house, that has to do with your money, your values, your worth. The answer you're looking for isn't in the next book or in the next course or in the next whatever. It's in you. Okay. So that chapter of seeking, wandering, accumulating wisdom, like it's Thanos rings, is coming to an end. Okay. And the world card says you are now the wisdom. You are the embodiment of wisdom now. You are the teacher now. So stop looking for a guru out there, and then you become your guide. You become your own guide and other people's guide. Okay. So, and then the Empress is saying that your expansive, visionary, world touching creative output is ready to be born. Okay. So your philosophy, everything you've known or acquired over time, is now becoming the work, the thing that you need to put together. Okay, that is the journey. So that's your message, Sagittarius. Finally, Pisces. Thank you guys so much for watching. So Pisces, you are the mystic releasing the illusion, okay? So this eclipse, if you're Pisces rising, this eclipse is activating your sixth house. And these rules, write it down, sixth house rules daily routines, things you do every day, health, gym, work, service, your body mind connection. Okay. So, as Pisces, you're the most spiritual sign of the zodiac, and having the eclipse land in your house of the daily is a very extraordinary invitation. Okay. So, signs and symptoms you could be experiencing during this period is health matters that require attention. Okay. But there could be persistent signals from your body that's asking to be heard. So it could be serious, it could be a little bit of issues with your immune system, or maybe your sleep is being disturbed, or your energy is high 1 minute, low the other. Your body is trying to send you a message, okay? Then work situations are shifting significantly for you. So it could be a job that is coming to an end, a work dynamic that is changing, or a calling towards something more meaningful is happening for you, okay? A work where you be the one rendering a service, or being of help to others is happening to you, okay? So, or working out for you. Then also you could be experiencing feet and immune system physical symptoms, okay? Whether foot pain, swollen feet, immune sensitivity, or a general sense of your body feeling. That's also another sign. Then we have boundary dissolution. Okay, you are absorbing everyone else's energy right now at an amplified rate. Okay, so other people's moods, emotions, or even physical states are moving through you. So you have to be very careful. Protect your energy during this time. Then you could be experiencing a spiritual crisis or dark night of the soul. Okay, that could lead to enormous breakthrough for you. So please give yourself grace and let it happen. Just let it happen, okay? Then you could also be confused about your daily direction, what to do, how to control or structure your days, or what routine serves you. You are going through an identity clear out, okay? So give yourself grace. So what is this eclipse asking you to let go of? It's asking you to let go of the victim or the martyr story. Okay, so you are a deeply sensitive, all right, but your shadow side means that that can become a narrative for being at the mercy of the world, okay, or being a victim, okay. So you need to stop that. You need to let go of that, okay. The eclipse is asking you to have mercy on yourself instead of expecting other people to have mercy on you. Then also you need to let go of escapist habits. So whether you're escaping through substances, weed, I don't know if I can say that, fantasy, TV, K-drama, social media, excessive sleep, or any pattern that is used to avoid the physical world, you're being asked to let go of that. You're being asked to let go of chaotic or undefined daily routines that leave you depleted or ungrounded. You're being asked to put structure into your life. It's not a cage, it's actually something that will help you to flow because you're a water sign. So it's going to help you to flow easily. All right. Now, to let go of helping people from a place of depletion. This is very similar to cancer people. Okay. You need to pour into yourself, you need to serve from a place of self love. Okay. Because if you're an empty vessel, you cannot help anybody. All right. So then you need to let go of the illusion that your spiritual life and your practical life are separate things. No, they're not. They're one and the same. Okay. Washing the dishes can be a prayer moment. All right. You can do two things at the same time. Going to work can be an act of devotion to yourself. Everything about you is spiritual, and you need to understand that. So, the overall message for you right now is that right now you're being suspended between worlds, seeing beyond the veil, okay? And the eclipse is asking you to complete your hangman journey, to come down from the spiritual realm, from your head, whatever vision you have within you, into ordinary life, to manifest it, okay? To whether maybe it's making a product, or whether it's sending out a message to people, whatever it is, start to do that. Then a cycle of spiritual seeking, spiritual bypassing without grounding yourself is coming to an end, whether you like it or not. Okay. And then the world card is saying you should embody your spirituality. Okay. Try to incorporate prayer into your life, be the bridge between heaven and earth, okay? Because the Empress is going to be your highest expression. All right, you need to connect with your divine feminine, whether you're a male or female. You also need to connect with the divine mother, okay? The creative mother, the sacred artist, okay? These will come to you. You will know what to do, okay? Because your creative gifts, they are ready to birth something that will touch countless souls. If you're not grounded, if you don't have structure in your life, if you're not embodying your spirituality, you will not be able to impact lives. If you're not having mercy on yourself, if you're not pouring into yourself, you're not going to be of use to anybody else. Okay? So that is that for everybody. Oh my god, that was intense. I think I'm going to just be doing this once every week. All right? So, final word, like you all, like I all told you guys, whatever, all these things that is being completed, it could be things that are going back as far back as 2008 or even 2018. Okay, you're completing cycles that far back. Okay, and it's finally coming to an end for the next 6 months. So tomorrow is the catalyst for that moment. So whenever you feel confused or whatever, you can always come back to this video, all right, to get some insight on what you know, so that this eclipse is not here to destroy anything. Okay, if anything, is here to show you something about who you really are, is here to expose to you your unfiltered self. Okay, so expect the next 6 months following August 12th to bring a push towards a more authentic self-expression, or a more true true self-expression. Okay, so that is everything. We'll finally, this is the end of the live. So if you have any questions, please let me know. If not, just say your goodbyes so I can end the live. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. I really, really appreciate you guys. Honestly, I do. So anybody have any questions? I guess you guys are ahead of time, or you're behind. Here we go. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Okay, so no questions. All right, guys, take good care of yourselves. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.